So what are cities and regions and nations of light? Welcome. My name is Alice, and today we're going to discuss a little bit more about what this could mean. So in the previous video, we talked about Holy Spirit gifts matured in us and how glorious that is when the gifts are matured in us. So in Philippians 2 verse 15 says that we are stars and we shine like stars in the universe. So how wonderful is that? And so the verse reads, so that you may be blameless and pure children of God, without defect, in the midst of a twisted and perverted generation, among whom you shine as stars in the universe. So in the book of Revelation 21, the Bible talks about the wonderful and beautiful, the glorious city of Jerusalem, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of the heaven, down into the earth, and that it is perfect and it's a holy place and it shines and it's glorious. And it says that at that time, the city will be without any unbelievers, without any liars, or the sexually immoral, or the vile, or idolaters, or anyone who practices witchcraft. So, of course, this New Jerusalem that will come down out of heaven will only come down and onto the earth during the time after the millennium. We say the last days and we call it the end times, but when we look at Bible prophecy and so on, and God's timeline of events, we see that there are at least another few decades left for us before Jesus takes us to have that wonderful royal wedding in heaven. This whole earth is going to be filled with the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. So what does that really mean? So it means that, as Paul also explains to us in the New Testament of the Bible, is that we are actually the pots of clay. We are clay jars containing this awesome, wonderful treasure and light. God's light and his glory is contained inside of us. And as we walk in our journey with the Lord, and as he more and more renews our minds and heals our hearts and changes our lives, more and more things, that we used to do that caused us to be impure in any way will start to fall away from us. And that will also allow the light of God to shine through us more and more. And also, as we mature in using our authority that Jesus gave us when we accepted him and invited him into our hearts, as we operate in that authority more and more, and in Holy Spirit power, and we start commanding and ruling and reigning with Jesus properly, and experiencing God in supernatural ways, and pushing back all the darkness out of our lives, out of our homes, out of our cities, out of regions, and even out of nations, it will automatically cause darkness and the operations of darkness to be cast down and made like dust. And the enemy, Satan and his demons, will have to leave those areas. And it is during that time, as we push darkness out of our homes and out of our cities and towns and regions, that God's light in us and through us will be revealed more and more. And these places, these cities and towns and regions will live more and more lifestyles that will be pleasing to the Lord, and for his glory, and his kingdom on earth will be established properly and for everyone to see, because there'll be great miraculous healings and other signs and wonders, and that a lot of God empowered supernatural things that will be happening. And of course, it will be happening through us, because we are the vessels of the Lord, and we contain that glory and his light and his power in us. The Lord has also announced the fact that there will be these regions of cities and regions and nations of light through dreams and visions that he has given various people across the world at various times in the last probably a few decades now. And so we look forward to that, and it is exciting, because as we become transformed and our lives become transformed, and God works through us and touches others more and more, then darkness has to flee, because the enemy cannot operate where the light of God is. Even if you light even a candle in a dark room, then darkness has to go, because that light shines in the darkness. And this is what Paul means also in the letter to the Philippians, that we will be shining like stars in the sky, because we're going to be so bright and glorious and beautiful. So may this word bless you. And if you'd like to join me for the next video, we're going to be talking about commanding and reigning with Jesus. May you be so very, very blessed.